You are more than just a thought. As funny as it sounds, most people believe themselves to be their thoughts. And this is the source of all of our suffering in this life. Because we build the foundations of everything upon a false premise. We say, I am this person, I am this body, I am this mind. But all of these things are changing. And when you build the foundation of your life on that which is changing, you are not on stable ground. What happens is that people get pulled into their experiences. They get pulled into their thoughts. And because everything is always changing all over the place, we feel like we get pulled all over the place. And this is what steals our inner peace. But you see, the eternal is found in stillness, in silence, in emptiness. And when you build the foundation of your life on that which is eternal, then nothing of this world can ever move you, because you will have deeply rooted your life in that which is true. You see, looking back on my life before my whole spiritual awakening thing, in this state as a person, life just wasn't that much worth living. There was suffering in a million different ways. Extreme suffering and really subtle levels of suffering. And there was no peace, and there was rarely any happiness. And you see, I realized that the source of all of my misery was because of my own ignorance. I was living in an illusion like most other people in the world, which means that I was under the influence of the forces of darkness. But once the switch happened in which I recognized the true nature of what I was, the true nature of what we all are, day after day the darkness began to dissipate because I recognized that I was the light, and my life became rooted in truth. As it has been said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And so I went from being a person living in the world to just being as I am. Being able to play this character, still using my mind, still having the sense of ego and individuality. But there was no longer any attachment to these things. One by one, the attachments began falling away. And without these attachments, there is great freedom. You see, those who look at the world do not see God, and those who look at God do not see the world. That is the difference between those who are living in illusion and those who are living in truth. Because the truth is that we are all one, and all separation is an illusion, and the mind and the ego create this illusion of separation. And so long as we live from a mind-identified state, we will live in suffering. We will have built the foundation of our life on a false premise and be a slave to all things that change. And you see, all change is death. And where there is death, there is suffering. But once you recognize yourself as the divine, you come to the first-hand experience, knowing intuitively that you are everlasting, that you cannot die, that nothing of this world can touch you or hurt you in any way possible, that you are already free from all suffering, from all problems. Peace, love, and joy is the very radiance of what you are. All you have ever been looking for in this life is already within you. In fact, it is you. This is God's great game of hide and seek. And you see, it would have been no fun if God knew that it was God. So God had to forget. And this gives our life great risk. There are great stakes, because when we believe ourselves to be the person, the body, the mind, we think that we die. And as like Marilyn Manson said, without the threat of death, there is no reason to live at all. It is the fact that all things are temporary, that all things are changing, that gives life meaning. Death and life, darkness and light, good and evil. But you are beyond all of these things. Duality is just the dynamic expression of consciousness, that consciousness which is your very nature. And this consciousness rests within a deep silence, within a deep space, an infinite emptiness, the only vessel vast enough to carry the immensity of what you are. There is no greater achievement in this life than the realization of what you are. All other things are secondary, and so you must cultivate a strong desire for freedom to find the truth, because until then you will wander in this great desert, this illusion, and you will never find lasting satisfaction, which means that you will always desire and need more. As Jesus Christ said, when you drink the water from this well, you will thirst again. But when you drink the water that I give you, you will never thirst, because what I speak about is an everlasting, infinite wellspring of peace, love, and joy. And all that separates one from this is their belief in themselves as a thought. I am this person, I am this character. Most people are method actors. They believe themselves to be the character that they are playing. But once you realize that this is just a character, then you are free from that character's experience. The character doesn't go away. You just learn how to play them better, from a place of freedom rather than a place of attachment. With attachment comes suffering. With freedom comes everlasting peace. All suffering in one's life arises because of the ignorance of what we are. The moment you see is the moment you free. Let me know your greatest struggles on the spiritual journey in the comments down below. Much peace, many blessings.